The following program was produced by the students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
This week on a special episode of Fast Track, it's all about SpringFest, and we'll be taking a look at some of the highlights from the weekend.
Cricket spitting, sheep shearing, and more. Fast Track reporters show you just what SpringFest is all about.
Fast Track starts now. Welcome everyone. We're coming to you from Purdue's Horticulture Garden for this special SpringFest edition of Fast Track. I'm Rachel Just.
And I'm Zach Riddle. There was no shortage of activities at this year's SpringFest, but animal lovers were in for a special treat.
Visitors had the opportunity to interact with a variety of farm animals under tent right on State Street, and it came as no surprise that one of the most crowded tents of the day was that tent.
Fast Track's Charles Liu took us there.
Taken care by Purdue animal science students, farm animals are able to show up in temporary tents here.
This tent is organized by the Animal Science Ambassador Team. We're a group of students within the Animal Sciences Department, and our goal is to promote animal agriculture to students and alumni and the general public.
For each section of animals, information is provided either by student ambassadors or can be found on printed posters.
Our main purpose for the tent and our goal for bringing the animals from the farms into campus is to just give people the opportunity to get up close and personal with some farm animals that they've maybe never been able to see in real life before, maybe they've only seen pictures of, and give them the opportunity to get a hands-on experience with those animals. We just want people to know that all the animals that we use as food in the United States are being well cared for and well taken care of, and we believe that healthy animals lead to a healthy food source.
Visitors get a chance to be up close and personal with animals while listening about the care and feeding they require. This is an effective and interesting way to learn.
The animal area in here, I really got to see what type of breeds you have and the opportunity that kids have, to get to know a little bit more about animals.
Staff and volunteers have also set up posters that include more interesting facts about animals and activities related to them, which we have on campus. Charles Liu, Fast Track News.
The Purdue chapter of Habitat for Humanity was out and about at SpringFest this year, showing off the work they do not only for Purdue University, but the greater Lafayette community as a whole.
Fast Track's Kyle Jordan-Dideau has the story.
A lot of events were on during SpringFest this year. The Purdue chapter of the Habitat for Humanity had its very own booth there with a very visual display showing off one of their projects.
So we're out here today to raise awareness about our organization by building a shed to show kind of an example of the construction things that we can do. We're also building a house right now over in Lafayette that was totally fundraised by us. It was a $55,000 house for a family in need.
Most members of the organization have no prior experience with this kind of work, and we're just looking for a way to get involved and help with the cause.
These fundraisers are Cover Indiana, it's a bike ride around all Indiana, and we do raise a lot of money with that. That's at the end of the year in May.
I started after I was injured from playing soccer actually in high school, and I was looking for a way to get the most out of my time during the summer since I couldn't train for soccer. And I found a service with Habitat for Humanity that was extremely fulfilling for me.
But we have had a lot of people pay for the pies or pay to decorate tiles, so we got a substantial amount of money. But throughout the week we weren't selling anything, as it was just to raise awareness, and many people out of the generosity of their hearts did donate quite a bunch.
Check out our website, www.purduehabitat@wordpress.com. And we volunteer every Saturday throughout the school year. If you're a Purdue student and you're ever interested in doing service work, please come out and volunteer with us. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Every year, an even bigger project is taken on. This is Kyle Jordan-Dideau, Fast Track News.
We have to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll check in with Kyle at the weather desk for this weekend's forecast.
Stay with us.
So the Brian Lamb School of Communication has a long tradition as a department of communication originally, so well over 100-year tradition.
There has been communication here in the teaching of speech and organizational communication and other things for decades.
We have a very vibrant, curriculum for our students in 5 different areas of communication.
It's everything from human relations and communication about relationships to public relations to communication within organizations to video production.
I think we attract really a variety of students who are interested in learning about communication skills, but then also being able to use those skills in a variety of settings.
Students have a lot of chances to get real, practical, applied experience, hands-on learning.
The classes that I've taken have definitely helped me grow in the career that I want, and I could not imagine taking any of these classes anywhere else.
I think a great part of our curriculum is when we have alumni who come back to classes and talk to students.
The networking is incredible through this program. We're all over the nation and even all over the world. I've actually had an internship where a Purdue grad was working there full time, and it was at Warner Brothers Studios.
I think when people hear about Purdue University, their first thoughts are probably engineering and astronauts. I'd like for students who aren't necessarily interested in being astronauts or engineers to also think about Purdue, but in terms of the Brian Lamb School of Communication.
Also very excited to see what my future holds because of Purdue, and I know I'm fully prepared because of the Brian Lamb School.
Thanks, Rachel. Well, right now it's a different story than it was yesterday. Yesterday we had those showers and storms that really rolled through. We had temperatures in the mid-70s and really a lot of moisture in the air. That dew point was really high, but look at things right now. Temperature 55 degrees, a significant drop from yesterday. That dew point is 30 degrees, so you can see that cold front came through and really brought that dry air behind it. We reached 60 degrees today for the high, but things are going to get a little bit cooler. You see yesterday winds were from the south, southwest. Today, with that front came through, winds are coming from the north, northeast right now. You can see it here on this map. This is the front that rolled through yesterday. You can see that showers and precip associated with that front. But right now, this high pressure system coming down from Canada is really starting to push its way and try to push some of that rain out. The skies are clear, a couple clouds here and there, but rain does not seem to be the story for today. It's much different from yesterday. Going on for the rest of your lovely night. 53 degrees here at 8 p.m. And as things start to go, the night progresses, things start to really cool off. So I know it's a busy weekend for here at us at Purdue. So bring your jacket, and it's not going to be warm, so dress for the occasion. You can see the temperatures around the country. This isn't just what's happening in Indiana. Due to that front, really brought some cooler air, but things are starting to warm back up a little bit. The high pressure starts to build back in. The weekend should be a little bit warmer, but for tomorrow's Grand Prix, a big race is going on tomorrow. I know a lot of people are going to be out and about tomorrow, and it should be exciting. For the most part, the rain is starting to hold off a little bit. 30% chance in the morning, got a 20% chance there at night. A little bit, maybe a little windy, but overall, the race looks to be pretty well, and hopefully them showers really stay to the south. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Rachel. Back to you.
Thanks, Kyle. And now for some more SpringFest highlights.
Cold ice cream was just what the people wanted at sunny SpringFest this year, but one tent made them work just a little bit harder to get it.
Let's take a look with Fast Track's Mora Show.
Discover a kind of ice cream you have never had before at SpringFest. If you go all the way down to the south, you will arrive in Building of Food Science. In front of the building, here it is. Deep in dance. No ice cream machines. What you get here are little ice cream balls.
So we're making liquid nitrogen ice cream, or Dippin' Dots. What we're doing is dropping liquid ice cream mix into liquid nitrogen, which is really very, very cold, and it instantly freezes the ice cream into little balls. And then you lift them out of the colander, you pour them off, and they warm up, and you have little balls of ice cream. It's extremely cold, more than or less than on negative 150 C. I'm not sure the exact temperature, but very, very cold. So after a little while, you've dropped enough balls in, and you have little ice cream balls collected at the bottom of the metal container.
The ice cream balls are extremely cold once they are taken out of the container. You had better waiting for a little while until they warm up. Comparing with regular ice cream, they are harder, and you can pick up those balls with your hands.
Oh, this is better. This is better than store-bought, definitely.
Mommy, my legs are cold.
Your legs are cold.
Enjoy the nice weather, enjoy your ice cream, and enjoy the SpringFest. Mora Joe, Fast Track News.
You may know the many flavors of popcorn, but you may not know that those different types of popcorns actually depend on the type of corn that you're popping.
The Department of Agronomy, Botany, and Plant Pathology held an event at SpringFest this year to explain the process to popcorn lovers. Fast Track reporter Yinglong Chen has the story.
The Department of Agronomy, Botany, and Plant Pathology held an event in the Spring Festival to show people some interesting facts about agronomy. There were 3 sections in this event: changing the landscapes, mushroom butterflies and popcorn, and clay dawn and rainbows. In the changing the landscape section, people were able to learn that how crops take up nutrients and how water, sun, and wind affect the crop growth. The mushroom butterflies and popcorn section showed that how genetic factors affect popcorn type.
Behind me we have the popcorn. You learn about genetics. There's different types of popcorn, different genes that produce different types. One's a mushroom type and one's also a butterfly type.
In the clay dawn and rainbow section, people could learn that different types of soil would absorb water and nutrients differently. The staffs would draw a line which is made of different type of soil on a small paper, and then put the paper in the water so people could see that different changes from different types of soil.
So they're talking about, they want to know, can water move up? They want to know what colors are in black ink. And then why does the blue move faster and the yellow stay at the bottom?
The event was held from April 8th to 9th between Smith and Lilly House and is free to the public. In Long Chen, Fast Track News.
When Fast Track comes back, I'll take a look at a SpringFest tent that turns ordinary people into world record holders.
We'll be right back.
Purdue Convocations is pleased to announce its 2016-2017 season, including Broadway favorites Dirty Dancing, Mamma Mia, Pippin, and Rent. The season will also feature special performances by Mavis Staples, the St. Petersburg Philharmonic, Taj Express, the Bollywood Musical Review, and more. Pick 5 shows or more, get great seats, and save big. Visit convocations.org for details.
Back to Fast Track. SpringFest is fun for everyone, but at one Bug Bowl staple, the tradition is fierce competition.
Zach headed down to the world-famous Cricket Spitting Championship to check out a unique Purdue institution.
Welcome to the Bug Bowl Cricket Spitting Championship, one of the strangest and fiercest competitions in all of college sports. The event is held every year at SpringFest and attracts quite a crowd, but why exactly do people do this?
It's just a fun thing that they do at SpringFest. It's something that the entomology program puts on, and we learn a lot about bugs and spit crickets.
Now, the championship this year saw some record distances, and if I was going to give it a try, I needed to know the secret to a world record cricket spit.
The best way to spit a cricket that I've seen, plop it in your mouth and then spit it as fast as possible. You don't want that saliva to build up and then it starts to weigh the cricket down. It's just not fun to clean up either. People should come out because A, it's a gorgeous day, and B, it's just fun. It's fun to watch people and cheer people on.
At the end of the day, only one could be the new cricket champion, and I asked him if he had any advice for the rest of us.
Hope it's a windy day and spit your hardest.
Here at the Cricket Spitting Contest, Zach Riddle, Fast Track News.
A very nice spit.
So Zach, you gonna have some crickets for dinner tonight?
No. The crickets that they give you are frozen and sanitized, so you can't really taste them, but it was definitely a first for me to have what I knew was a cricket in my mouth.
Yeah.
Probably, hopefully, will be a last. But speaking of first, SpringFest had no shortage of first for visitors.
Hosted by the Purdue Animal Science Ambassadors, a sheep shearing demonstration gave spectators a unique chance to see sheep being sheared up close and learn more about the process.
Let's take a look with Fast Track's Shwanda Yi.
It's time for some Purdue sheep to get their annual haircut at SpringFest sheep shearing demonstration.
We do 2 a day on Saturday and on Sunday at 11 and 2 each day. And we'll bring out the sheep and we give the public an opportunity to see a slowed down version of the sheep shearing process so they can see part of agriculture that they might not get to see very often.
Purdue Animal Science Ambassador Casey Kirkberger says shearing a sheep is just like a man getting a haircut. It won't hurt the sheep.
So when we do it, we're not coming in on an angle. What we do is we make a pass over the top and we run them flat. And then we can come through down on the sides of their ribs, down into their belly, keeping it flat and peel the wool off, just like what you would do as you come around your scalp.
However, you still need skills to handle it.
The hardest part to physically shear is around the ears and around the face, just because it's a little irritating for them to have the noise of the clippers around their ears and face.
Kirkberg hopes the event helps the public learn more about animal agriculture.
I think it's a really good event for the public to come see. They can learn about animal agriculture throughout the tent.
One audience member says the demonstration dismissed many misconceptions he had about sheep shearing.
Yes, I thought the shearing was a painful process for the sheep. I didn't realize it was, like I said earlier, the same thing as getting a haircut. Sheep just didn't want to stand still. So.
After shearing, the crew sends the sheep back to the boiler burn yard where guests could pet them. Fast Track News, 传德业.
We have to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll check in with Kyle to take a look at the 7-day forecast.
Stay with us.
The enchanting musical Pippin will swing into Elliott Hall of Music with a dazzling new production. The big top set and high-flying acrobats add to the spectacle. Convocations proudly presents the Verona String Quartet and pianist Daniel Su, the 2015 Concert Artists Guild competition winners, for a program that unites them for Franck's Quintet in F minor, an urgent work with one emotional height after another.
Before we wrap things up for this episode of Fast Track, let's send it over to Kyle one last time to take a look at the 7-day forecast.
Grand Prix is going on tomorrow. Should be a big event that's going on. Hopefully them rain chances stay to the south, but still got the 30% chance in for the day, the 20% chance for the night. A little bit windy as well, but overall tomorrow the race should be a good one. Thanks, Rachel. Back to you. Thanks, Zach. Well, going for our temperatures tomorrow, things are cooler than they were today, but still things are starting to warm back up a little bit. We had that cool night on Friday. Saturday looks to bounce back at that. Highs in 58 degrees here in Lafayette. Champaign a little bit warmer as well. Same thing down in Indianapolis. Similar story around the country here in the south where things are warmer that have that severe weather that's going on. But for us, this map is bringing the rain a little bit further north. I think the rain is going to stay a little bit further south, but a couple showers could start to develop, make their way. That's why I'm keeping that rain chance in for tomorrow. But things are starting to warm back up a little bit. Like I said, the high pressure is starting to build back in and changing them winds from the north toward the south again. That southerly wind starting to boost up those temperatures. But speaking of temperatures, a lot of people, you never heard April showers bring May flowers. Well, May is looking to be a warmer month than April is on average. And the same thing as well. A lot of people are saying it was going to rain a lot in April, but in our area, in our neck of the woods, the models are saying that May is going to be drier than average. So enjoy that rain now while you can, because the models are predicting that May is going to be a month that is drier than normal. But back to our neck of the woods for the short-term forecast. Got that rain chance in for tomorrow, 58 degrees tomorrow for the high. Things cool off a little bit tomorrow night. But going into Sunday, that rain starts to dissipate. The high pressure makes its way closer in our region. Monday, things start to warm up a little bit more as the winds start to come back in and kick up from the south. And then going into next week, that rain starts to creep back in the forecast. And things start to cool off a little bit. Not too much, but still around springtime again and average for this time of year.
Thanks, Kyle. While most events at SpringFest focused on agriculture and entomology, one event utilized art to celebrate the arrival of spring.
The Purdue Art Gallery's Art Cart and the School of Visual and Performing Arts collaborated to bring a unique method of printing to campus. Take a look. If you heard what sounded like a party near Powell Hall on Saturday afternoon, it might have had something to do with the visual and performing arts contribution to SpringFest this year. Families, students, and artists gathered together to dance under the unloading bay of Powell and create art together. The star of the show? A 22-ton steamroller.
And this is steamroller printing, and this is just an outdoor activity for SpringFest. It's kind of a unique way to do relief printing that's normally done with, either with spoons rubbing, paper onto a block or with a press, but we're doing it on a huge scale with steamrollers. So,
Craig Martin wanted to make the event inclusive to every age and skill level. Art Cart volunteers taught kids how to make mini versions of the steamroller prints.
They're just like these little platforms that you would paint and then press on, so like it makes a picture.
Most people spend an hour or more at the activity, with many others sticking around to observe and appreciate the process.
and this is something that we're doing on a small scale in multiple colors in sort of relationship to the large scale, just black, large black imagery that we're doing today.
I think it helps people get exposed to it and see it instead of just looking at art in a gallery or museum. Here you get the experience of what a relief print is.
So we try to provide these activities, free of charge, out in the community. We're always looking for unique art activities, to do out here, things that can bring people over and, show off the building, show off visual and performing arts and the kind of work we do here.
If you'd like to take an art class with Purdue's Visual Arts program, non-academic weekly classes are available in POW. Purdue students can also take printmaking classes and other art classes through the Department of Art and Design. Rachel Just, Fast Track News.
Well, that wraps up this season of Fast Track.
We've loved having you guys along for the ride. Thank you for such a memorable experience.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us. And if you want more information about these stories, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube at Purdue University Fast Track.
I'm Rachel Just.
And I'm Zach Riddle.
For all of us here at Fast Track, have a great summer.
1, 2, 3, 4. To your call once more we rally alma mater, hear our praise. Where the Wabash spreads its belly filled with joy, our voices raise. From the skies in swelling echoes come the cheers that tell the tale of her victories and her heroes helping to receive.